Now let's focus on something that often reveals more than people realize: hand movements and gestures. Because while people can carefully control their words, their hands often move more naturally and sometimes more honestly. Think about how you normally speak. When you are relaxed and telling the truth, your gestures tend to flow naturally with your words. Your hands move to emphasize points, illustrate ideas, and support your communication. There's a rhythm. Your speech and your gestures are in sync. But when someone is lying, that natural flow can change. One can shift, one common shift is reduced movement. When a person is under cognitive load, trying to construct a lie, monitor themselves, and manage the situation, their brain has fewer resources available for natural gestures. As a result, their hands may become unusually still, controlled, or even hidden. You might see hands tucked under the table, in pockets, or held tightly together. On the other hand, some people go in the opposite direction. They may overuse gestures. In an attempt to appear convincing, the movement can feel slightly exaggerated or out of sync with what they are saying, almost like they are performing rather than communicating. Another important signal is timing mismatch. In natural communication, gestures usually match the words. For example, if someone says it was this big, their hands move at the same time. But when someone is lying, you might notice a delay. The words come first and the gesture follows a moment later. That small gap can indicate that the person is thinking and constructing rather than recalling. You should also watch for self touch gestures, sometimes called self soothing behaviors. These include touching the face, rubbing the hands, adjusting clothes, or fidgeting with objects. These actions can increase when a person feels stress or discomfort. But remember, stress does not automatically mean deception. It simply means the person is experiencing some level of internal tension. Another subtle clue is rigidity. When someone is trying hard to control their behavior, their movements can become stiff or unnatural. Instead of relaxed, fluid gestures, everything looks slightly forced, like they are being overly careful. And then there's inconsistency. For example, someone might verbally express confidence, I am 100% sure, but their hands appear hesitant, closed off, or unsure. This mismatch between verbal and nonverbal communication is worth paying attention to. But let's stay grounded. Hands alone do not prove anything. A person might hide their hands because they are cold, tired, or simply comfortable that way. That's why you always combine gesture analysis with context, baseline behavior, and other signals. So, here's the mindset to develop. Don't just watch what people say, watch how their body supports it. Are their gestures natural or aligned or controlled and disconnected? Because often the hands don't lie, but they do reveal when something isn't completely natural.